Hey everybody, it's Neon and this is my first design tutorial. So today we're going to be making this clean, simple, liquid style header. This is from my friend Zavid's. Here's the original header I made. Ignore all of this. Just like this. And that's what we're going to be making. Alright. So obviously you want to create a new document. And make sure it is 1500 by 500 pixels or whatever sizing you want to do, but this is for a Twitter header. So yeah, just create it and you can change the color, so I'm just gonna use white because why not, and press create. So now that you're here, I'm gonna press Z and fit screen, and first off we want to make a new layer, so right here. So once you've created this new layer, you want to go up to here, and it might be this rectangular marquee tool, so like this. So right click on it and then go to elliptical marquee. Now that you're here, you want to hold shift and drag out, and stay holding shift once you release it, so like this. Okay, once you've done that, we're going to press G. If that does not do anything, you want to go to where it says paint bucket tool, right click it and make sure it's on gradient tool, and we're gonna make a new gradient. That kind of messed up a bit, so we're just gonna do an orange like that. That looks good, and a bit of a lighter, oh yeah, we'll do this little orange and yellow color scheme. Press OK and hold G and then just drag it like that, and Control D to deselect it. So now we're gonna make this bigger, so Control T and hold shift. Depending on what version you are, you have to hold shift so it make sure it's even, but I don't on this version. Not sure what version it is, to be honest. And just fit it, make it a bit bigger on each side where it comes out of the frame, just like this. And now that we've done this, I'm just gonna change this background color to a nice black. So Control U and then drag the lightness down. Alright, and we're going to add some text. So press a, well actually you don't have to do that, but you want to go to this text tool, click on it, and we're gonna change the font. So I like Nexa Bold. Another good font is Grifter, something that can do this lowercase. So we'll just use this one and highlight over this. So pardon that. Or say name. And that you've done that, you want to just drag down, make it fit. It's like that. Looks good. And if that did not work, so if it was like this and you didn't have it on caps lock, go to panels. If it's in all caps when you type, even if you have caps lock off, you want to go to panels and type, go to character panel, and if it's selected like one of these, you just want to click off it, and so there's nothing selected, and now you can type in lowercase. I'm just gonna delete this layer. Sorry about explaining. I'll get better while I'm making more tutorials. So I'm going to put in the background text that says name and Control T, and make it smaller. I think that big is good. And we're just gonna Control J and keep duplicating it. So about 3 duplicates, depends, and make sure it fits. So you just want to keep doing this. So make sure it's lined up. Just gonna put it like this because you can't really tell, and get your last copy and drag it over. Control T, just drag it. Alright, that looks good. I need to push this up a little bit, make sure it's even. Alright, and now you want to highlight all these texts. So hold shift and click down to this one, and then press Ctrl J. Now that you've done that, Ctrl T, and we're just gonna keep making these nice layers. So keep Ctrl J-ing it. Obviously, you won't have text. You won't have name as the text. So it'll look probably better than what this looks like, because it's a bit bland, I'd say. Oops. Alright. And you can mess around with sizing and everything, but this is just fine for right now, for an example. And these texts are annoying, but first off, before we do anything, is I want to select this text, so just click on this text, so right click on it, blending options, color overlay, and change this color to a nice orange, like that. And now we'll do the same for this text right here. Go to blending options, color overlay, and we'll put it to a yellow. Nice, we'll use that. And do the same on this side. So I'm gonna click on this, blending options, color overlay, and we want to set this to this color again. And then do the same, and make it that nice yellow. Oops. So you can just drag, once you've clicked color, and just use this eyedropper tool and click on that color. Alright, now that we've done that, I'm going to shift and click on the last one, and then press this group tool on the bottom, this little folder, and title this, oops, background text, like so. And lower the opacity down to what you think looks good. So I'm gonna do like 15. Alright, I like 17. And I might Control T this and just move it over a little bit. Like so. That looks a bit better. You can mess around with everything to how you would like it to be. And so now, as we did here, oh yeah, so if you have a graphics pack, this is the enhanced graphics pack by Mixo. All packs have these pretty much. You want to grab a particle, so I'm just gonna grab, we'll grab this one. Just drag this over. You don't have to do this, but I like doing it. I'm gonna move this down a bit and make it, size it a bit so it's not too overwhelming, but it is a bit noticeable. And I'm also gonna drag a dust and scratches, no, a grunge, there you go. And you wanna select something that has a bit of texture to it and a little bit of noise like this one. And obviously it looks stupid, so size it like this. You can lower the opacity down a lot. So I like it to around 10%. And the last thing I like to do is I'm gonna hide this, go to dust and scratches, scroll down, and get this beautiful noise. So we'll use this one. As I said earlier, you don't have to do all of this. This just gives it a bit of an effect in the background. And lower the opacity down. So I'm gonna use like around 10. Just like a low. That looks good. It's grainy, but not overwhelming. Alright, the next thing we're gonna do are these dots and these little liquid shapes. So let me just group these and label this grain. You can label it to whatever you want. You don't have to sort these, but it keeps it organized, and I like doing that. So now we're going to go to a new layer. I've already made one. Grab our pen tool and make sure it's on this one. And I'm gonna zoom out a little bit and just place a circle, like, or not a circle, a dot here. So this is a bit advanced. I'm not sure. I don't know what stages you guys are in watching this. If you need help, comment down below. But I'm just gonna put a dot here. And then, actually, I don't like it like that. So I'm just gonna hold and drag to make this little angle. And then put a dot here. Maybe drag it out a bit. And then up to here. There. And then do that. Alright. That looks fine. We'll see how it looks. So I'm gonna make a selection. So right click on it. That. And then you're gonna press G to your gradient tool and just gradient it. If you don't like how that looks, like, to be honest, I don't really like it. I'm just going to hide the layer in case I ever want to use it. Make a new layer and do the same and just make it a bit less crazy, I'd say. Alright, that should look good. Make selection and use your gradient tool. Alright, I'm gonna move this a little bit to the side so it's not popping out as much. And I'm gonna keep doing this and making them different, but you can copy and paste them or just like copy them if you'd like and flip them and do all that. So I'm gonna make a selection, use my gradient tool like so. That looks pretty nice. And I'm just gonna duplicate this, so Control J. I'm gonna move it up to here and I'm going to flip vertical. That looks good. I'm gonna hold Control and hit the box here. Now, so it selects, so I'm gonna do my gradient tool again and I'm just gonna change it. Looks good. And we're gonna do one down here. Wow. And just mess with everything. Be creative. That's what I like to say. And just gradient this. That looks pretty cool. Abstract. We're gonna put one more just up here. So we want to fill the space, but not overfill it. I hope you understand what I'm trying to get at. Just like that. And we need to make a selection, so right click. Gradient, and do gradient. Alright, that looks good. So next up, we're gonna add some dots. So I'm just gonna group this as my liquids, I don't know, you can label it whatever. So make a new layer, grab a ellipse tool, the ellipse tool, shift and hold like that. Alright, I don't know what I'm saying, I'm sorry, I'm tired. And use your gradient tool and just drag it. So that looks good. And we can move this freely. Make it smaller, and you want to keep duplicating it. So Control J and rotating it, making it smaller in places. Just keep duplicating everything till it's to a point that you like. And now we're gonna do that on the opposite side. So you want to duplicate these again. Oops. Control J, drag them over. I'm gonna flip them vertical and then flip them horizontal. We have that. Maybe rotate a bit. I'm actually gonna move that down here, like so. Control J. Add a little guy right here. I'm gonna select, so make sure you've pressed on that move tool up here and click on that dot so it'll select it, and then press Ctrl J. Make it smaller, bigger, whatever you want to do, and duplicate it again. Flip horizontal, maybe make it a bit bigger. That looks good. So I'm gonna make a group out of this and just call it bots. Alright, so now that you've done that, you can add anything else you want, but I'm gonna add a secondary text. So I'm gonna do a text box. So like select the text, use the same font, ignore that. You might need to type up here in the top because it might select with different layers that you don't want selected. So I'm gonna title this Fortnite player. Alright, you've done that. It's obviously in the wrong spot, so I'm gonna drag this out up to there. Alright, that's good. And as you can tell, it looks kind of dumb. So I'm going to click on it, double click on where it says the text, and go up here to the type, panels, character panel, panels, character panels. You just want to make the spacing a bit less. Alright, here we go. So this top right one up here, just make it to a point that you like. Alright, I like that. Make sure you press check mark, and I'm going to make it to where I want it, make it a bit smaller maybe. That looks cool. Alright, so for the last step, I'm going to right click on the big circle. So this giant circle right here, right click on it, blending options, and in this bar there's a ton of options. You want to press on the drop shadow, and that shows this beautiful shadow. You can do whatever color you want, but I'm just going to use my eyedropper tool and select a nice yellow, like that. That looks pretty good. You can mess with all these settings, lowering down the opacity, changing the distance you want it at. I like it about 40, that looks nice, or maybe a bit less, at least 20. Change the spread, I think around 4 looks nice, and change the size to how you would like. Alright, that looks cool. And you now have a finished, beautiful header, but there's one more step. Well, it's optional, so that's why you don't have to do this. So I'm gonna go to my background text, and I'm going to rasterize these layers. So left click on the top layer, hold shift, go down, and now that you've done that, you want to right click on it, rasterize type. Alright, now that you've done that, you want to keep this selected, and you want to go up to filter. Let me just make sure these are working. Filter, convert for smart filters. Now it's all in one thing. You want to go to blur. I like using radial blur. I'm going to set it down to 1. Alright, there's a bit of blur here, and I'm also going to add one more blur. Oops, a nice box blur, and set it down to 1. Alright, that doesn't really change anything, but it's a nice touch. And now we can export and save this. So you can save as a PSD obviously, or a JPEG, but what I like to do, if you're just saving it as a JPEG, so you can instantly use it, you want to go to export, and then this save for web, click on that, make sure everything looks good, and you want to make sure the quality is on 100, and it is selected to a JPEG. So now press save, put it to wherever you want. So I just have my design folder, and then I'm gonna put in my 2D headers, and I'm gonna title it name liquid head. Done. And now let's open this. Here is our finished project. It looks very nice, and that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it a lot. And yeah, see ya.